now we're at feedback. Feedback is the thing that no one wants to waste their time doing, and I know you are. I know you're wasting way too long on writing feedback and you're not getting paid for it. So let's stop doing that. Let's start writing amazing feedback and helping each other out and stop recreating the wheel each time for these kids. Because the lesson is the same for every kid. It's just their performance that changes. So that is what the feedback is all about. We write skeletons of what is in the lesson so that then we can write just the performance review, and everything else is this beautiful, wonderful, nicely written. All the niceties are done, and the outline of the lesson is right there. So all you have to do as the teacher who just taught the lesson is, hopefully you took notes in the notes section, and you can look at your notes, and then you come in here and you look and you just decide which one you want to pick. And I'm just going to say I'm picking this one. And I'm going to show you how it's done first, and then I'll tell you how to format it. So then I just take this and I'm going to copy it. And I don't want to change the one here because then it makes it really hard to go and put it back in the lesson bank afterwards. And ideally that's what we're doing. So then we just go over to the side, the one that's not. And then we have this key at the bottom. So on PCs we do Control H, and that will bring up the find and replace. If you're on a Mac, you do Command Shift H. And I always think, help me write my feedback. And so that's how I remember H. So then you write in the find, and you just follow that key. So on here it says your child with a lowercase u. You need to be capital or lowercase, big or small, specific. So we need to do your child and pretend my student's name is Sunny. And we want the specific range, so always make sure that you've selected the right range. You're not on some other weird cell beyond the specific cell, and then click specific range. And we want to match the case. If it's a lowercase, if there are both the lowercase your child and uppercase your child, and that's it, and its name, then you don't have to be case specific. You don't need to match that case. But if it is like this one, it only has the lower your child, so then I'm going to be I'm going to match the case. Then I just do replace all. 2 instances came up, and then the other one is he, she. So I'm going to type it exactly how they do it. So if it's lowercase or uppercase, again, you want to be really specific about that. He, she, and I want Sunny. I could do she, but I want Sunny. So I'm going to replace that. Oh, it doesn't say there is any, so we should better check that. Oh, because there's an asterisk by it. So see, you gotta be careful with your writing, ladies and gentlemen. So again, I'm on here, and then I'm going to replace all. And it's because I didn't follow it. So good example. See, I'm being a good example by being a bad example. So it's capital he / lowercase she. So see, we're all doing it together. So don't think you got to be perfect, because you don't. Now I'm going to replace it with Sunny. Then we do specific range, match that case, make sure I'm on it, specific. There we go. Ding, 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 ding. Now I have this all filled out. It's all, I was happy to teach Sunny today, blah, 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 blah. Then all I have to do, I can be done with this. I delete this one, and I just write the specific thing. So, great job today. Oh, and see, this was a pause one. So Sunny read fluently and did very well answering the comprehension questions at the end of the story. Great job. So I'm going to come sneak in right here. I'm going to say, she could continue to work on, what's in this lesson? Oh, using sun, snow, and white in full sentences. And I'm a slow typer, so if you're a fast typer, it'll go even faster. And then that's good, because she did a great job. She needs to do that. Great job today. Then I'm just going to add in my name. Teacher Sara Wells. And then, look, ta-da. Copy. I'm going to open up my feedback, but I'm not going to really because I don't have any. But I would open it up, and then I highly, highly, highly suggest using Grammarly. Paste that in there, open up the little Grammarly bubble, And then you can use Grammarly. It's just a Chrome extension that you can download and add, and it's quick and it's easy, and it corrects both your grammar and your spelling. So then you can check your spelling and then submit. And it's boom, it's as easy as that. So take the skeleton, do the find and replace, add in the performance with how your student did. I did a bad job because I didn't have a student named Sunny who took this lesson. It was a made up one. And then you copy and paste it over. And then what the parent gets is this beautifully written outline of the lesson and performance review of how they did. But really it only took me like 45 seconds, 30 seconds. So I can definitely do it in between classes, especially if I already did my lesson bank prep the night before. Then it's definitely ready, and I'm just copying, pasting it over once I put in that performance review, and it's fast and easy. So let's talk about the specific things that you can do to make it go even faster. So this one you can see we have a lot of, well, let's start with the performance review. So that's the first thing. We always at the bottom, we want to make our key, because some people, it's good to have a basic feedback. And the basic ones are okay. So we want to say something like, I was happy to teach your child today. I was happy to see your child today. Because even if the lesson went wonderfully or poorly, we should always be happy to see them. So that is a great way. We don't want to say I was happy to meet your child today, because what if it was a regular? Or it was great to see your child again, because what if it was the first time? So don't do anything that indicates anything specific about the lesson, just general. I was happy to see your child, because that should be true always. And if it's not, let's pretend like it is. So open with that. And if you want to just do fast ones, you can say, today our lesson goals were, and then come over here, copy the lesson goals, slap those in, and then right at the end, your child earned 5 stars, make another space, teacher, and leave it like that. And we always want to write your child instead of he or she, and instead of he or she, do we. We read this, we worked on this, we did this, because in that way it doesn't give a performance indicator. It doesn't say if they could actually do it or not, because maybe I did it as a teacher and maybe they did it, we don't know. So that's a really good way to kind of trick the system, is stick to your child and stick to we did this today. So then at the end, because these ones, see, we have he, she, and the names, but this all could just be your child and then we's, and we don't have to change the we. And you could put in a we and have it for a he, she, if it's lowercase or uppercase. The things you just really want to be careful of is make sure when you're setting the key that you've really read through that feedback and you're not giving any kind of weird like saying it's only lowercase, but then it's actually like a uppercase your child, like it started a sentence, or only do the starting of a sentence, and then there actually are ones in the middle of the sentence. So just watch so that anytime that comes up, that it works. The other thing is some lessons use sentence patterns with your child or yours blah 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 in it, and or he, she, for example. And so then we really want to avoid that, because we don't want it to find and replace those in the like target sentences, rather than if you're just talking about your kid. So those are kind of the find and replace things. The performance reviews, we want to start with an asterisk, and then we want to say if it was a positive performance review or if they were struggling. So it's like, keep working on it. So it should still be positively written, but meaning that they struggled rather than they have mastered the skill. So asterisks, and then positive if it's like written in a way that's like, oh, he read fluently and did very well. So that's a performance review that's positive. So that's why the asterisk is there, and the asterisk is in there where it is, so that if I'm looking at this, I can look at it and say, oh, that's where the positive performance review is, and I want to take it out, it's gone, because maybe it's a bad lesson. So I would make a copy of this again, like, and put it in class tags or the alternate parent feedback, just somewhere else, not on the main one, on my personal schedule even, so that then I can change it, find and replace, edit it, write my name, write my goodbyes, whatever my thing is. And I'm not changing the parent feedback, but if I edited other things throughout the lesson and updated, then I can still copy that as a whole and put it back into the bank, which we'll talk about that in a different post. But this way, feedback is so easy. That's all the details that I can give you, because that's everything there's to know about it. Write feedbacks that are general about what the lesson content is. Omit all things that indicate how a lesson went at all. Or if it was a boy or a girl who took it, just take it all out and say we's and your child. And we don't want to do he/she's either, because ideally, say you're in a pinch, it's very nice to be able to just copy this and paste it in and not have to be looking through, and if I missed one of them, because if I missed one of the your child's or something, that's okay. Your child is an appropriate thing to say, but if it was a he/she, now suddenly I have a weird thing that I'm saying. So that's why we want it to be as is, your child, we, and then have that performance review and the find and replace. If you take the time to set it up, format it that way in the beginning, then the repeats are fast. It's just copy, find and replace, put in the performance review, and copy it back into the lesson bank, and it's whoosh, fast and easy. All right, you guys, that is how to do feedback in under a minute. Minute is very great, is generous. And truthfully, you can honestly come over here to your, if you did the struggling, developing, and mastered, and just copy that and say, today your student worked on these specifically, and paste those in and make it kind of fit in a sentence, and just use that even. And the truth is, whatever you put in for the performance review, that is what you can, once you're in the feedback form, I just copy that straight out and put that in the teacher, because that's what I want to know in the teachers. What are they doing great on? What are they struggling on? And what are they just bombing? I want to know those things for my next lesson, and I want to know what reward, so I'll add in the reward as well. And then you have that, and then that's your teacher feedback. So truthfully, your parent feedback, take what you added and put just that in the teacher, and I initial it so that I know which ones are mine. Boom. Seriously, a minute, maybe 2 minutes. So if you're getting out of your lesson when you should, you still have a minute to go do 10 jumping jacks. All right, you guys, hope this helps, and I hope it makes your feedback so much faster. The stuff you're not getting paid for should be easy and fast.